Good afternoon, viewers. It's Tuesday, not Monday, so sorry
Day
about
late,
that. We're a day late.
No, Colin was busy, so the director was busy, so give him a bit of a spell.
Okay, so here we are, Barry Peatling Heads Award. Before we get into the grand final game, we're just going to have a little chat about this. You're heading an award. What an award is this, Barry?
This is up in Shepparton in 1967, I think it was, yeah. It was halfway during the season. Finished up runners-up in that year, that the award was the TV 24-inch TV set.
You kicked 4 goals in that game.
Kicked 4 goals, yeah, dynamite all day, mate, killed them.
So how come you got the picture and the headline?
Because he was a star, Barry Peatling Heads Award. That was my first season.
You don't get one of those, a teak panel TV set.
I was runners-up.
Runners-up, so...
And there's a goal kick, and I was finished up third at the end of the season, and the goal kicking ladder, which is... It was 43 there, I think it was. But yep. I finished up with 49 or 50.
So you got McMahon. He was any good?
He's another rover.
Yeah, okay. Riddle. Did McMahon play for somebody?
No, he was just a good rover. Tough ball player. He reached up in good duels him
and Cummings, was he any good?
He's our full forward, Tony Cummings. So
okay.
That's about the 5th time in 4 years I was runners up in the club goal kicking.
You must have done all right, like you've got 2 key goal kickers there.
Yeah, well, I was runners up.
So just looking over here,
read that out. That was one of the...
Barry Peatling showed real class when he brought the Swans' 15th goal. The ball was thrown in from the boundary line in front of the timekeeper box, and Peatling had to bullock his way past the opponents as the ball came from the ruck duel. Okay, so he gained possession and immediately put the ball to his boot and sent perfect pass.
Would have been a stab kick too.
Perfect pass to Len Cummings, the former repugnant rover. Did not let it stop at this. He kept moving into the forward line, forward zone, creating the loose man and marked past the Cummings and Gold. So there we go.
Goal of the day, mate.
Goal of the day. Got a bit of a headline there.
Yeah, very good.
So that's some years gone by.
Good old Shepparton.
And good old Shepparton times, and that was in the late 60s, I guess.
You can put my little adverse card there, but we put it on last week, I think, and that's my little massage card with my YouTube and email address and everything. It's very cheap, $35 an hour.
That's pretty good, and it's for
a good hour, yeah. It was about an hour and 20 minutes.
Not, as opposed to not a good one. So, got some interesting things there. Well, let's get stuck straight into the game then, Barry. It's the grand final. YCW versus Mount Eliza. Ground and conditions.
At the Frankston Park, and the ground was in perfect condition again, and a very good crowd, Colin.
Because it has been a bit of a letdown recently.
Yeah, the last few finals have been very ordinary, but this, well, so it should be. It was I reckon we have to be between 5,000 and 7,000.
Oh boy, that's a big crowd.
A lot of people, everywhere. And a perfect day for football.
It was very nice, wasn't it?
It was not short sleeves, but it wasn't
low 20s.
Just a perfect day for football.
Perfect day for football. So tell us about the first half then.
Well, the first half was a pretty even half too, but noticeably, yeah. Mr. Eames started brilliantly in the ruck, and it was a bad sign for Mount Eliza. Because the week before, 2 weeks before, Simpson was all over him. But in the first half, him and Holmes, and I said last week, the best combination of 4 around the town the last 5 years I've seen is Lockwood and Mr. Lowry, and they were both held.
Who they play for?
Mount Eliza. Yeah, the Guns. But it was a pretty even half. So it was the first half time. As I'll tell you, the scores were half time was 7-3 to 5-6.
So pretty close. A goal and a half, 10 points of difference. Who was YCW leading, were they?
They were leading, just leading. But I'd say I must mention this number 57 for Mount Eliza. Heasley, yeah, number 57. Played a top game all day and tough, hard. He was kept him in the game in the first half. But Lowry kicked a couple early goals. I thought he might have been for a pretty good day, but Lockwood, he wasn't even taking any marks. He was right out of form. But that's football.
Yep.
The half time, as I say, they were only 9 points in front. It was
so close. It kept your interest. Was it a good game?
It was a pretty high standard game. Yeah, they Benny Tallis. Who was the other? What's his name? Lou Roberts.
Lou Roberts.
He got carried off the stretch in the third quarter, so I'll tell you something about him later.
Yep.
But now it was a pretty even first half, but the second half.
Yes, tell us about the second half.
The lead changed a few times, and Ian was still in charge of the ruck. Sean Simpson, Scotty Simpson, he wasn't going too fast at all. He didn't take it. He didn't have any bear on the game at all. He wasn't even taking any marks. It was a pretty ordinary game from Scotty Simpson. That's why Eames, he just took over. But he was rucking most of the day. Like I said last week, he was taking the centre bounces and just going back. They must have watched my video, because he was around the ground taking marks, kicked a beautiful goal too.
So there you go, someone paying attention to your video
and
changing their game.
In the games in the home and away seasons, those sides are pretty ordinary. They can do that, but in the finals you've got to be on. And he had their first 10 knockouts, Eames, and he just controlled the game. That was nearly the end of our life, because Scotty Simpson, he was. Don't know where he might have been in the wrong game.
So just tell us a little bit about the last quarter.
Well, the last quarter, look, Mount Eliza, I think it changed about 4 or 5 times the lead in the last quarter, but I think they were about 10 points, got about 10 points in front with about 10 minutes to go,
yep.
Mount Eliza. And then Benny Tallis took a mark about 60 yards out, dropped it through, played a good game all day, Benny Tallis. And then the last 2 minutes, I kicked 2 goals in about 2 minutes. Otherwise, up till about 5 minutes to go, Mount Eliza was in front, and they just happened to get a couple of easy goals, and the crowd went mad.
Wow.
That's the third premiership in a row for Mount Eliza. For
Frankston. So what was the final score then?
The final score was, I did write it down here somewhere, 12-6 Mount Eliza to 9-14.
So give us your goal kickers then. Give us the goal kickers, thanks.
Goal kickers for YCW. Bradley Holmes. It's a funny name. What's it, German? Dutch.
Maybe.
Bradley Holmes, 3 goals. Morris played a good game too, number 17, and Benny Tallis 1.
Okay.
For Mount Eliza, Lowry kicked 3 goals very early in the half, but wouldn't start half time, and Willard kicked 2 nice goals too.
Okay.
That was the main goal kickers.
Give us the group of best players then.
The best players for YCW was Ashley Eames, Morris, Holmes, Tallis, and Leary.
Okay.
Mount Eliza, Heasley, number 57. Where's he got number 57 for his staff football fella? Lowry, Gormley, Laundry, and Josh Norman.
Alright, so we'll get your votes then. 1 vote.
1 vote to Heasley, number 57 for Mount Eliza.
2 votes.
For Bradley Holmes.
And 3 votes.
3 votes to Ashley Eames, who controlled the game all day.
Okay, so
he kicked a beautiful goal, 2 against a win.
Okay, so he was clearly best and fairest, won the Barry Peatling medal for best on the ground.
Sure.
Any further comments on the game?
Well, I'll just go repeat myself what I said last week. If YCW can stop the combination of Lockwood and Lowry, they'll go halfway there, and that's what they done. I don't know whether it stopped them or they just had an off day. Lockwood, I don't think he took a mark. He might have taken 1 mark. But Lowry kicked 2 or 3 goals, but overall they were, that's what I said last week, if you can hold those 2, you'll get the money. Plus the fact that if Ashley Eames could not turn in a poorer game 2 weeks ago, he played a good game the week before, last week in the friendly final, and they stood up, and that's what
made the difference.
Won the game for them, and
but they're closely fought teams, aren't they? Close teams.
Well, there wasn't much in it all day. The highest margin they got in front was about 15 or 16 points all day, and it was a very good game to watch.
And you said someone was carried off with a stretcher?
Oh, you must mention Lou Roberts. He got carried off in the third quarter. The game stopped for about 5 minutes. I thought, well, he was in another world, but they carried him off. Next thing, in the last quarter, I was down next to Russell the Snake. I said, who's taking that mark? He said, Lou Roberts. He's coming out being unconscious and taking the mark and nearly kicked the winning goal.
Yeah.
So what's on there for that? Unbelievable. But it was, well, you expect to see a good high standard in this competition in the world. So it was, but the Frankston YCW players, they jump, and you think the first game they ever won their life, but that's the 3rd premiership in a row.
Yep.
3 in a row.
They're hungry for
to win 1 or 2, but to win 3 in a row is...
They're a class above, aren't they?
Well, they won the grand final last year by 12 goals, didn't they?
Mm.
But this year it was
A bit tighter.
but it was a great game.
Well, that's enough for the MPNFL Grand Final. What do you think about the AFL Grand Final this
Well, I'll
week?
give you my early prediction about next Saturday afternoon's grand final. I think the Swans will beat Hawthorn.
I hope the Swans beat Hawthorn.
I do think they'll beat them. I reckon I watched Sydney last week. They've got some players all over the ground. They've got Goods, he's back in form. They've got Ryan O'Keefe. You've got that Ruckman. He's a big unit.
Mummy.
And he got
Mike
he
Hawk.
got out of the striking charge too, so they're very lucky about it because he's Mumford, isn't it? Mumford?
Yeah, the Mummy.
Mumford, yeah, I reckon he'll. No, I do think they'll get on. They'll win the game by between 15 and 25 points.
Yeah, I hope so. So we'll have to wait and see what happens. Now, tell us about what's happening next week.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the side. I see the
side of what?
The MPL side, my MPL side.
MPFNL.
I see in the record.
Side.
I see it in the record on Sunday, Colin.
They picked one today.
This other clown here. Yeah.
They picked one there.
And I won't be taking notice of this clown, I'll tell you now. But yeah, I'll be picking my side. And
So a clown picked it. We'll just get the clown on.
Don't say anything at all.
Stephen Crap. Oh, Clapp. No?
Who?
Cap. Okay, so we got, there it is on the Peninsula Team of the Year 2012.
I've got a few of them players.
That's a little bit of a glimpse here of this team, but we'll get the Barry Peatling version.
I'll tell you what he's got there. I'll tell you what he's got there on the emergencies. The fellow I picked captain on the side, if you don't mind. I'll let you. No, just let the punters. I'll tell the punters next week.
You can see why they were so good. They were running out games so fit.
Well, Russell, here we are, down here. Look at this crowd. What do you think about the crowd, Russell?
Hopefully it builds up a bit more. But it's not